Hello everyone, this is Chong Wang from Fudan University. In this talk, I will introduce our work generating variable explanations via zero-shot prompt learning. Why we need to generate variable explanations? After develop A name some variables, another developer B may need to read and understand these variables to comprehend the code and fix bugs. But there is a gap between variable naming and understanding. According to an online survey, naming things and explaining what to do are two hardest tasks for programmers. So it is usually difficult to understand the variables by only reading their names. This causes some negative impacts on many SE tasks, such as code comprehension, code reuse, and bug localization. To this end, we aim at automatically generating variable explanations to bridge the gap. However, generating meaningful variable explanations is not an easy task. The first challenge is the lack of high-quality training data. Inline comments sometimes provide meaningful descriptions, but they are not always aligned to concrete variables. For example, in the right side figures, the inline comments are not used to explain specific variables. The second challenge is the awareness of code context. The same word in different code contexts may present different meanings. For example, the letter R in different code contexts may mean read, radius, or write. So we need to consider the contexts when generating variable explanations. On the other hand, we observe that these challenges may be potentially solved by leveraging pre-trained language models. First, pre-trained models can explain parameters as they can serve as knowledge bases and comprehend code context. For example, Unix coder can precisely describe the functionality and the parameters of the method. Second, variables can be treated as special parameters, as they are similar in form and functionality. Based on these observations, our idea is aligning the problem of generating variable explanations to the task of generating parameter descriptions. There is no training data for variable explanations, but there are massive existing data for parameter descriptions. So we can take the two generation tasks as the pre-training objective and the downstream problem respectively. Then we leverage continual pre-training and zero-shot prompt learning to address the generation problem. Based on this idea, we propose our approach called ZeroVar. Our approach consists of two stages. The first stage is to continually pre-train for parameter description generation. The second stage is zero-shot prompt learning for variable description generation. Next, I will give the details. In the continual pre-training, the first step is random parameter description masking. Given a method, we randomly select one parameter of it. We must corresponding description of this parameter in the docstring and treat the original description as the expected description. The second step is base model continual pre-training. We feed the lowest docstring and code into code T5 and let the model to recover the masked description. We select code T5 as the base model as it can process bi-modal input and can generate very nice descriptions. Based on the generated and expected descriptions, cross-entropy loss is computed to optimize the model, resulting in a new version model called code T5 Prime. In the zero-shot prompt learning stage, the first step is automatic prompt construction. Given a code and a target variable, we first generate a docstring for it using Unix coder. Then we insert a line into the docstring to simulate the target variable as a special parameter whose description is to be recovered. The lowest docstring and code are concentrated as the prompt. Finally, code T5 prime is utilized to generate the explanations for the target variable based on the prompt. We conduct extensive experiments to evaluate the proposed approach. The first RQ is to evaluate the quality of the generated explanations on automatic metrics and human metrics respectively. The second article is to evaluate the usefulness of the generated explanations with respect to abbreviation expansion and spelling correction. In article 1, we semi-manually collect about 700 reference variable explanations based on inline comments as the evaluation dataset. We combine code T5 and an inline comment-like prompt as the baseline, and take blue and roach as the automated evaluation metrics. The evaluation results show that our proposed approach achieves better blue and roach scores than the baseline, indicating that our constructed prompt can better align the downstream problem with the pre-training objective. In RQ1B, we use 4-point Likert scale in terms of correctness, completeness, and conciseness as the human metrics. The results show that the generated explanations get higher scores on these three human metrics. In RQ1A, we try to enrich the code context with the generated variable explanations for SOTA abbreviation expansion approach. The results show that after enrichment, the expansion approach achieves better performance. In RQ1B, we implement a lightweight spelling correction approach by selecting candidate corrections from the generated explanations. The results show that the approach achieves much better performance than the baseline var CLR. In conclusion, in this work, we aim at addressing the problem of automatic variable explanation generation to bridge the gap between variable naming and understanding. Our basic idea is leverage pre-trained models and prompt learning to solve the challenge of the lack of training data and the awareness of code context. Based on the idea, we propose a two-stage approach consisting of continual pre-training for parameter description generation and zero-shot prompt learning for variable explanation generation. Finally, we conduct extensive experiments to evaluate the proposed approach. The results confirm the quality and the usefulness of the generated explanations. That's all. Thank you.